What Arty Noobs with general disturbance. This is a Bat Châtillon on 155.58. It's the tier 10 French SPG. It's located on the north spawn of Pilsen and it's under the command of angelina75 OLIMP, and it's her first submission for the week competition for the weekend line. Game on. Well, as you know, if you're not a follower to our channel, you probably don't know, but there is a competition every week between angelina75 and Talon 1958. They're a real life couple and they both play Arty, and they try to get the best game of the week so they can enjoy a weekend line, and the other partner has to get up and look after their son, so he has to get up, or she has to get up early, make the breakfast and keep everyone happy. Angelina actually didn't win last week. She tried very hard, but after 2 replays submitted, she wasn't able to get the weekend line. But she's trying hard this week because she sent in 2 replays already, and we've already seen that Talon won last week, so yeah, she has an incentive. We're looking for the tracer coming from this area of the map, and that might give Angelina a clue as to where the enemy Arty is located. It's a T92 HMC, so it's a big Arty, and it probably didn't move very far away from the spawn point, but he hasn't appeared to fire yet. So we fired 1 shell at the enemy. We've got a 3-shot autoloader, and there he is, the enemy Arty, a T92 HMC. Angelina's loaded with the next shell. She fires and wipes him out with 1 shot, and that means now Angelina doesn't have to move anymore for counter battery purposes, because unless of course she wants to avoid enemy tanks firing at her, because of course now she's taken out the opposition and they get an Arty free game. Okay, Gorilla 15 rounds out. Oh, it went to the right, and now she's in full reload. The standard reload time for this Arty, a 3-shot autoloader, is 49.86 seconds. Was it? No, 49.96 seconds. Angelina's got 45.28, so she's reduced that by 4 seconds on the reload. Now, as I say, it's a 3-shot autoloader. Used to be a 4-shot, but Wargaming thought that was a little unfair, because if you had 2 Bat Chat 155.58s in the same game, then they could perma-stun somebody and keep them stunned for the entire battle, and they reasoned that was a bit unfair. Actually, it's not unfair in the slightest. These shells will do 680 alpha, 48mm of pen, and we've got a blast radius, as we can see here, with the stun shells of 7.6 meters and the 12.5 to 27 seconds of stun. Of course, some of the bigger Artys, the ones with 21 centimeter howitzer, are capable of doing a lot more stun. And we just saw an enemy tank, a T124, moving up the road, and he's setting up position, but we haven't got a shot on him at the moment, even if we move forward to relocate. Okay, we do have a shot on this guy, a K91. We fired the first round in. Direct hit! Right on the money, 268 hit points. Now, oh, that wasn't very good. That was one of our team, an Object 277, getting Amaract. So he just exploded. But we've got a Jagdpanzer E100 over here, and our AMX-13105 is supplying us the position. So we're just going to keep firing the rounds in to do some damage to him. Well, sometimes it doesn't pay to actually fire at the same target twice, because obviously you can't increase the stun once the stun's already there, but you can get stun again if the stun's worn out, and that K91's now taking another bout of stun, and 2 hits. First one for 268, second one for 291, both non-penetration shots. Now, I don't expect Angelina to penetrate any of the enemy tanks on this game unless she gets a really good shot on the Gorilla 15 or the Striv 103B or the T100 LT, because they're about the only ones that she's actually able to penetrate. The others have all got thick armor, which makes it very difficult to pen them. Okay, there's the Striv. So she's got a chance. She's got 3 shells. Rounds out. Can she hit him? Yes, she can. And she did pen him. 684, which is a high roll. She penned him. I was right. Yep, she could pen the strip 103B. Rounds out the Jaegeru. Well, it stuns him, causes him a critical hit, probably tracked him. Now, the enemy is on the railway line, and it looks like the T100 LT's over there because he's just been spotted. Angelina's got one shell left to shoot, and we've lost sight of the T100 LT. Angelina was scrolling over there. There is a better way, a quicker way of moving from one tack to the other, and that's by holding down your control key, moving the mouse over the minimap and right-clicking on where you want to see, and it'll take you there straight away. Good shot. 246 from Splash. Oh, that K91, the one that Angelina hit earlier. Yeah, well, he came to this side of the map, and Angelina just got a piece of him. Or she actually did get a piece of him earlier, but somebody else killed him. Okay, so who's next? Well, we've got an E4 there, but if we were to hit him right now, I think our Type 5 might be a bit upset, or the enemy Type 5. But actually, the E4 is not. Yes, I got that the wrong way round. Yes, the E5 we could hit, but the E4 we couldn't. So we're doing rather well. We're 6 tanks up on the enemy. And Angelina spied a target of opportunity and fired at the Jaegeru. Now, it appears that Angelina is moving down to the other end of the map, and I think that's a good idea because there are some enemy tanks down there that she can hit much easier from down there than she can from up here. She hasn't been spotted yet by the enemy. She's probably going to get spotted by the Guerrilla 15 when she goes down the bottom end of this map. But if she goes up into the woods, she should be fairly safe from his shots. The enemy's trying to protect their cap area, and they're going to find that very difficult if Angelina keeps firing rounds in to reset or re-hit them, keep them at bay. Well, the Guerrilla 15 got wiped out, so he's no longer alive. And are you going to go up into the woods? No, Angelina's going to fire from here. Okay, the enemy's going to have to come back to reset their cap, and I think Angelina did make the right decision because, oh, well, the 907's died, and that means now there's only one left on the enemy team, and it's this strip 103B, I should say. And he just took out our Hurricane, and he's headed back to try and reset or claim the cap area, but of course he won't be able to. And Angelina's getting on the move. I think she might be going towards the cap. Going to put pressure on him. That's always a good move as well for Arty to get into the enemy cap. You never know, you might be able to get a Raider Invader if they string it out long enough. Oh, no chance. He's gone as well. And that's a victory. Here's the end of battle stats, and that was a third-class victory for angelina75 of OLIMP in the Bat Châtillon 155-58. She managed to get a Bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, she got 9, and her win rate from the game was 1,820, which is very good. Let's have a look at the team score. Well, she didn't get the highest damage. That actually went to the Jaegeru on our team, who got 5,550 hit points of damage. Second highest was the Hurricane, and managed 3,989, but walked into that strip 103B and got wiped out. And the third highest damage was that strip 103B, the one that Angelina penetrated. He got 3,053 hit points of damage. Angelina picked up 1,903 hit points of damage. And there are, let's have a look, 3 members of the enemy team and 5 on her own team ahead of her, which means she's in 9th place when it comes to damage. When it came to kills, though, you can see the highest scorer was the T57 Heavy with 3 kills and the Leopard 1. And 2 kills went to the Hurricane, the Strip 103B, the Type 5 Heavy, which I misidentified, and the Object 907. And Angelina just got the 1 kill in the game. But when it came to base XP, we can see she's a little further down the table, in fact, a long way down the table. The high scorer was the Jaegeru with 930. The Leopard 1 got 910. And the Hurricane managed 898 with Angelina getting 701. But of course, Angelina helped her teammates have an Arty-free game by taking out the enemy Arty right at the start of the game. So I'm sure they were very appreciative of that, because it meant they never got stunned during the game. They were having a whale of a time. Okay, let's have a look at detail. 10 shots fired, which is on the small side. 4 direct hits, 2 penetration shots. Now, she got 2 pens. We know that she penetrated the Striv 103B. There you go. 852 from 1 pen. And the other one was the T92, yes. Only 57 hit points from that shot, because he'd already taken some damage, but Angelina wiped him out, and that was the end of his game. She also splashed 8 of them, damaged 1,903, of which all of which was at more than 300 meters. 5 enemy vehicles were damaged, 1 was killed, so she missed out on the Confederate there by 2 tanks, and she got 9 stuns, but no stun assist, and that's why she didn't get the anything more than a 3rd class. She did get 6 capture points while she was waiting in the cap, but not for very long. On a free-to-play account, she actually made 25,401 credits from that game, and she got 5 bombs because it was tier 10, and 1,402 experience points. So not a bad start. A 3rd class and a bruiser, and a win 8 of 1820. Now, can Angelina beat that score in the next replay? Let's see. The second replay is on the Sand River encounter map, and we're on the west spawn. Well, we can see this is a tier 8 game with tier 7 tanks, and our fellow Arty is an M12. Okay, we're headed off to the north side of this area, on the north side of the gully. Oh, well, Angelina's decided to stop inside the riverbed area, and looks like she's going to target the enemy tanks that are coming over the ridgeline. It's a little difficult to shoot at this area, but she's got some tanks to go for, and one of them is a BZ-176. She's not loaded yet, but she will be, and there's another one. And only critical hit on the BZ. Now, the BZ is vulnerable if you put an artillery shell directly down on their roof, because the roof is relatively thin. And when they try to use their gun depression, their gun lifts up, and there's a little sort of like square, which is very, very, you can see it there. It's very vulnerable square. If you can hit that, then yes, you'll probably get a pen. So remember, aim for the roof if you can get it. Everywhere else, bit of a difficult to get a pen. But if you can get the roof, go for it. Rounds out the Panther. 381 is good. Now, she's using the 8-inch howitzer, 900 alpha, 52 millimeters of pen, 10.5 meters on the burst radius, between 12.5 and 28 seconds of stun. It's about the same sort of damage levels, except, of course, the actual, well, except for the damage. I know, it sounds a bit weird. No, you're getting 680 on the Bat Chat 155-58, but you're getting 900 on this one. But of course, it is on the M4 chassis. It's the tier 8 as opposed to tier 10. Now, the standard reload for this Arty, well, it's slightly longer. When I say slightly, I mean quite a lot. The actual figure is 44.1 seconds. And Angelina's got that down to 36.13. So it's actually longer for 2 shells. It's longer for 1 shell than it is for 3 shells on the Bat Chat 155-58. Oh, just behind the Panther. Angelina thought he was going to go back a bit further, and it just didn't happen. Now, I definitely say in a battle like this, of course, you select targets based on your ability to penetrate them. If you've got anything you can pen, like an Su-130PM or any tank destroyer that's very, very light on armor, then go for it. Something like a Scorpion. But if you've got heavy tanks like those BZs, then hitting them on the roof will really help your team, because they do have that big gun which is capable of doing a lot of damage to your teammates. The enemy Arty in this game are another M40, M43, and they've got a Crusader SP. So it's a possibility that the Crusader might have the stock gun, in which case he's a short range Arty, not a long range one. That Tiger 2 looks tempting. So does the IS. I think I would definitely go for the IS first. Angelina's looking to put it into the SMV. Rounds out. Looks good. Right next door to him. 345 is a good shot. And she got stun assist. So that one paid off. Oh, now what happened just there? That was a Chi-Ri going up. Okay, there's the IS. Still got plenty of hit points. There's the SMV. He's the one. Oh, he went down. The one she aimed at last, but of course he's lost all his hit points. The Tiger 2 rounds out. Right on top of him. 374. Now you've got to wonder what the BC176s are doing up in the north end of the map now, because there's nothing really facing them except that Skoda T56. Angelina's going around the hill rather than drive up over it. Sometimes a bit of risk. Yeah, she's got spotted. That's the risk. You take, ow! T43 saw her and yeah, she took her round. That's the risk. If you go up over the hill, you're less likely to be spotted. You might be spotted, but you're less likely to be seen. But she's decided to go back, and now she's going to go over the top, I think. Now, can we see where the shell went in? Yes, I think we can, actually. The shell went in on the crew compartment, and it did go through a weak area, so now, will she be spotted this time? I don't think so. No, I think she's got away with it. Yeah, sometimes it's easier to go up over the top. That rock in front of her is going to be a bit of a problem if she's going to shoot short range, but if she shoots long range, she should be okay. She's got a red line when she tries to hit the VK, but she can hit this T25 AT and splash him. Well, the interesting news is that those BZs are both out of the game. It appears that the Skoda was more than a match for them. And now we've got a T103. That's a nice target. Angelina can make a mess of him. Ready to go. Rounds out. And she gets 425. And he's still stunned. Ow, she got the rest. She got the rest of the stun assist, but it's only 13. There's only 2 enemy left. It's the Arty. One of them's down in the riverbed. Which one was it? Oh, it's the Crusader. And he did have the stock gun. That's why he went down there. He's playing with our Centurion, but he doesn't last very long. The other one, the M40, M43, is about to get sat on. And yes, he's... Oh, he actually killed the E25. Rounds out. Long flight time. Unfortunately missed. The Skoda's got ideas. And that's the end of the game. You know, for a second there, I thought that M40, M43 was going to be wearing an E25 for a hat if the guy managed to jump onto him correctly. But unfortunately, or fortunately for the enemy Arty, he managed to get the E25 and kill him before he could do that. So, yes, he came out with the advantage. But, of course, then the Skoda was there to finish him off, and he couldn't fight a 2-shot autoloader. So Angelina tried, and she had a good game. She got a third-class tanker out of this one, a bruised middle, like the last game. But this time round, she got a Confederate as well, hitting more of the enemy than anyone else on her team. And that adds another edge to the contest, because it now means that Angelina's lead has extended. She's got a third-class bruiser and a Confederate now for Talon to beat. Angelina's win rate is 1,768 on this one. If you remember on the previous one, 1,820. So the win rate's smaller on the second game, but she's got a better part of it because she's got the Confederate, and Confederates are very useful because it is a medal. Any medal counts towards the contest. So if you get a third class, a bruiser, and a medal, then the next player has to get either a second class, a bruiser, or second class, to actually beat Angelina. But if Talon only gets a third class and a bruiser, he's still got to go again because that medal will actually still beat him. So let's have a look at team score. Well, she managed to get 1,795 hit points. She didn't get the highest. The Skoda managed to get a steel wall and 3,091 hit points of damage. So he was blocking shots from those BZ-176s. Second highest was the M43 with 2,726. And the third highest damage went to the Centurion with 2,573. That means that Angelina with 1,795 is in 5th place in the game. And it was only her teammates that scored above her. And of course, Angelina got a medal. And the only other one that got a medal was the Skoda, the top scorer. When it came to kills, yep, that Skoda got that one too. 4 kills to him, 3 kills to the M3Y, 3 kills to the Centurion 1. Angelina didn't get any, but of course that helped her to get a Confederate. And as we say, spreading the Arty love around onto everyone actually does pay off because it means that you have a more chance of getting a medal. And even if you lose the game, you will then get the Courageous Resistance medal or more credit simply because you medaled and nobody else on your team did. And, or not nobody else on the team, but you actually medaled and managed to get the extra. When it came to base XP, we can see the high scorer again was the Skoda with 1,286. Second place, the Centurion with 1,099. They were the only two who managed to get over 1,000 base, with Angelina getting 661. And she was actually well down the table, I'm afraid, because she was in 7th place this time. But I say well down the table. She's mid-table on this one. She fired only 9 rounds, so maybe she would have fired more, actually stuck around the cap area. I think that might have been safer. I don't think it's a good idea going in front of that hill because you've got a good chance of being spotted if there's somebody in the riverbed valley because you have to go up that slope at the other side of it. And I think that's where she got spotted by the T-43 and he put a round into her. 2 shots were direct hits, but none of them penetrated. 8 splashes. Damage of 1,795, all of it at more than 300 meters. She received 1 hit. It was a penetration. That was the T-43. 7 enemy vehicles damaged, none killed, and that's why she got the Confederate. 556 hit points of stun assist off 8 stuns. So she was getting stun assist off this one, but only towards the end of the map. End of the game, rather. On a free-to-play account, she earned 53,436 credits. And she took away 1,322 experience points out of this one as well. I would say, actually, just as on the side, if you've got a game like this where the enemy is further back along the river valley and your teammates can't see them, that might be a good reason for you to actually switch over to the non-stun HE. Even though the M40, M43 carries only a limited number of rounds, 16 in total, if you carry a few rounds of non-stun HE and you're able to actually penetrate the tanks that are hanging at the back, you might get more hit points from those shots than you would if you accidentally, or did not accidentally, but hit an enemy tank that was right at the front of the queue inside of your teammates, and maybe you got, say, 200 or 300 hit points of damage, but then your teammates only did, say, another couple of 100 hit points of damage. You might pick up more from the non-stun HE hitting the tanks at the back who have weaker armor, and you might actually penetrate them as well. It's just something to consider in future battles, especially in limited corridors where your teammates cannot see the enemy tanks you want to hit. So a lovely battle there, and that actually does improve Angelina's score, and now it's up to Talon to send in his replays, and let's see what he's able to do. If you enjoyed that replay, please give this video a like, do subscribe to our channel, leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm, and thank you for watching.